Today we're being joined by Aprille Crooks from the North Adelaide SANFLW Football Club. Aprille, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Now, tell us a bit about yourself, what kind of got you into footy and what type of player you are.
Yeah. So originally from Tasmania, where I played under my dad for a few years. He's what got me into football, also playing alongside my sister. I then moved over here to play in the SANFL with North Adelaide. Um, I'd like to say that I'm a pretty outgoing person, so I'm pretty loud on the field. Love to get the chat up, support like all my teammates, and yeah.
Very good. And it's a key point you mentioned there, Aprille, mentioning about communication and being vocal and that. Because on a football field, as a prime example, you need to be vocal. You can't be quiet because, it just won't work. You have to talk in some capacity, especially louder.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like everything kind of comes back to communication. Like, no matter what's going wrong or right out on the field, if you're not talking to each other, like, it's not going to happen. Footy's a team sport for a reason.
So then, obviously, you mentioned from being from Tasmania, playing the last few years at North Adelaide. So, what kind of prompted that move, Aprille, to move from Tassie to SA?
Yeah, so was actually originally going to move to Queensland where my dad is now. I was going
Okay.
to go play up there and then got the call from North Adelaide, one of their recruitment staff, and asked if I'd be interested in coming over, and I just kind of jumped at the opportunity.
Now that's good. So it was never a hesitation, despite that. As you mentioned, your dad being in Queensland, you've been from Tassie, so it was neither of those states. So it seems to be pretty an easy decision for you.
Yeah, I think it was a pretty easy decision. I knew I wanted to move out of Tassie anyway, even though all my family are there. Like, they all supported me because they knew I wanted to kind of chase my dreams a bit. So,
Yeah.
yeah, when I got the offer, there was no hesitation. I was pretty keen on the adventure, no matter what kind of happened with my footy.
That's good. So obviously in 2020 and 2021, you played for Tassie Devils in the Coates League. Aprille, how was that experience? That next step to the AFLW side of things.
Yeah, it was good. I definitely got a fair few opportunities out of that whole thing. Obviously, COVID was a little bit a part of it
Yeah.
as well, so kind of ruined one of my seasons there. But I got really good connections, loved playing with the girls. Like, it was just that little bit of a step up from what we were doing at local league, which gave us girls that kind of foot into those bigger opportunities.
Mm. That's good. So in that time, though, while you were playing for the Tassie Devils, who were some of the teammates that you played alongside that you kind of got to also learn off and may have gone to play AFLW now or be on the list?
Yeah, so someone that I actually grew up with, Maddie Braz, who now plays for GWS in the AFLW. She and I played touch football together as well as football. She played at my local club. I got her to come out, and then she got into Tassie Devils, and then was lucky enough to get drafted. So playing alongside her and watching her journey has been like super inspiring, and I'm so proud of her.
Mm.
But yeah, I loved playing with all the girls at like Devils. I still have connections with some of those girls now. So
Mm. That's good. In that time, do you recall who were some opponents that you played along against that you either had to match up on or just kind of see from very close range, obviously, that have now gone to make it and kind of show you what it kind of takes to get to that step?
yeah, one that like particularly comes to mind is Mimi, who plays for Colton now.
Hill, yeah.
She, yep, she played against me. I think it was my first year in Devils. We played against her, and I remember just watching her absolutely tear it up. And then I went and watched her with one of her games at Colton when I was there in Melbourne. And it was just so crazy to see, like, she looked completely different. You could see like the dedication and hard work that she put in, and like she deserved to be out there. And it was just, it was inspiring to watch.
Sure. So obviously in your time, Aprille, at North the last few seasons, how have you found it? And how have you felt personally and as a team you've gone in the 2 years you've been there so far?
Yeah, so I guess kind of the last two seasons haven't gone as like any club would plan. They've been a bit of a slow kind of season, but definitely in our building stage, you can see the talent coming through our younger girls, which is so exciting to be a part of their journey as well.
Mm.
Um, I love the club and I love all the girls at the club. I am super big on bringing that like club culture
Mhm.
like into the group, making those connections when you have such like a big age gap. in a team. You've really got to work on that off-field connection as well. So, yeah, I just absolutely love like training games with those girls. I couldn't ask for a better like team.
That's good. How important, and I think a lot of people don't take notice of this too much, April, is that experience plays in the sides. Now, they may be the best players, they may not be, they may just be playing there because they're playing there. But how invaluable is it to have people of older age or mature age players that are got that experience and can kind of learn from and help? As you mentioned, there's a lot of young players in the age gap, so they could obviously lend their experience. They played for a while, or they just know what to do because of their experience.
Yeah, I think playing like I'm really lucky to play alongside Jess Edwards and Christy Harvey, who are both ex-AFLW players for Colton. I have learnt so much off the both of them that I could never thank them both enough. Like Jess's IQ around football is next to none. She is crazy about how much she knows and things that she can teach you. And I love learning off her. I will always ask her for feedback, even though she's not playing anymore. Like after games, I'm sure I'll still badger her about how I played and what I needed to do better and where I could have helped the team more. But I can see it in the younger girls as well as they start to come through. Like they value all this feedback that they get from those older girls and even from girls my age. These like younger girls, they're coming through the programs. And I guess looking at it like the two different age gaps, like Jess and that didn't have those opportunities that these girls have now at 16, 17-year-old. So
Yeah.
they are coming through as little guns and they are just hungry to get better and to want to learn.
That's right. And as you mentioned there with the age gaps and stuff as well. So now, from a positional point of view, April, what position do you play? Because I've seen that you've been floating around a fair few positions in those 2 years, April, and it just seems to change every so often. And the only position I believe is the ruck, the only one you haven't done. Or have you had a ruck contest?
I actually have had a ruck contest, so I've played every position nearly.
Go. How do you find that?
Yeah, this is kind of a hard question for me. Like, I love playing all the positions. Like, I would probably say midfield is like my top position for me, but I'm pretty keen on doing whatever is right for the team. So wherever they need to throw me, like I'm gonna put in 110%. Coming in, they thought I was a forward. I'm not a natural forward at all. I was a natural defender, even through my other sports.
Yeah.
So trying to like translate all of what I was doing into kind of the opposite to be a forward was pretty difficult. I wasn't loving my football because I just didn't think I was playing very well. But then I went back to the back line, built my confidence back up, started getting better, and then they threw me back into the mids and forwards. And I was like, okay, I'm ready to just give it my all this time. I didn't really mind how many times I touched the ball or if I even touched the ball. I just wanted to make the girls in my team look good and I wanted to do my role for them.
No, that's good. And I mean, you may think this way, you may not, but it's sometimes very important in a way. It's sometimes a good thing. I feel like playing multiple positions, Abel, because when you got that versatility, it's really important these days about being leaned upon to play a few positions. Obviously, there's players. I mean, you can know some off the top of your head that play at any level. Where they've got that experience, or they're just very smart to play in other positions. And it's just very important these days to be versatile. Because if you play one position, and you're not doing so well, you could find yourself out of it. Where in your case, you're learning a few positions, and it kind of makes you be a better player overall because you can be thrown anywhere.
Yeah, I think it's really handy and also for like obviously oppo analysis in a
Yes.
way. Like I know as a defender what would annoy a forward and as a forward what like how to get away from my defender. So I feel like it all really goes hand in hand and I'm really grateful to be that kind of player that can play all positions and that teams can rely on me, that when we need a bit more like say speed back like forward I can go, or if we need someone locked down in the like defense, I can be there for them. So yeah.
That's right, and definitely will work for sure. So in your time, obviously, you played when you were in Tasmania, April. You obviously won a league best and fairest, kicked 34 goals in 16 games for the Bulldogs in the NTFA league. How was that time for you winning a league best and fairest? Must have been, and the goal kicking must have been pretty cool.
Yeah, that was definitely a footy highlight for me. I went back to play at that local kind of level. I pulled out of Devils that year. Went back to play that local level because I really wanted to find my love for footy again. I
Mhm.
could feel it starting to drift, so I ended up going back and playing with my sister.
Yeah.
So won a premiership with her, which was like the best moment ever. It topped everything, and then celebrating, winning the league's the league's best and fairest, and kicking a fair few goals. Like it really just kind of topped it all off, and it put me in a good position to be ready to come up here and play.
That's good. How did that league best and fairest count work? How did that work? Did they do a round by round? Would you be one of those people able to just kind of going to check everyone else in contention to see how they've gone and go, oh, I've kicked 5 goals this game, I should get 3 votes here. How were you before that?
So with the best and fairest count, it was actually our silly Sunday just after we'd won the grand final. So we're all sitting at the club in crazy costumes watching the count. I had no idea that I would even be kind of in a chance to take it out. We were kind of all just sitting there watching it. As it kind of got to the last votes, I could feel it like in my stomach, and I was like, oh goodness. It was such a good feeling, like not even just to take it out, but just to be surrounded by so much love and support. Like all the girls got around me that were jumping on me and screaming and yelling. Like it was the best feeling. But with the goals, I actually didn't even know that I was up there until the lady who did take out the leading goal kicker was actually in my team as well. Until she said something to me, and she said to me, she was like, oh, you're only like 3 goals behind me. And I was like, what are you talking about? And she told me that I was only 3 goals behind her in the leading goal kicker, and she was really nervous that I was going to overtake her. And I didn't really care about it, to be honest. I was kind of just out there doing what I needed to do.
Right, fair enough. And it turned out, which started to be a silly Sunday or Monday, to a good day. Good day.
Yeah, it was great. I just loved being around all those girls to celebrate that moment with them.
That's good. So obviously you're only 20 years of age at the moment, April, and obviously you were in the coach league. You made the jump. Was part of the reason, April, to make the jump to kind of again play in a better league to get more notice? That's no disrespect to Tassie, the leagues, but people know that you're not really going to be as noticed in that state compared to say WA, SA, or Vic.
Yeah, no, definitely. I didn't really know much about the SANFLW competition before getting the offer, but I knew that it was kind of going to be better than Tassie because, when you do turn 18 in Tassie, you're not eligible for Coates League anymore, so you've got to find some other path. So I knew as soon as kind of I turned 19 that like a change was going to need to happen. So definitely came over here to, I guess, strive for those dreams and try and reach the next level above this.
Good. So obviously recently just got a new coach name. Must be nice to see some change of coaching. And literally, I think it was yesterday, or at least publicly anyway.
Yeah. Having KB coach again, like she came in late of the season this year, and to have her back for 2025, I've got a great feeling about the year for the Roosters.
That's good. So clearly that means then you plan to stay there next year as well?
Yeah, absolutely. I love those girls. I love that club. I have so many plans for that club that, I'm not going anywhere.
Very nice. So now we'll stick with some teammate questions, April. So who were some of your favourite teammates at the club?
Oh, favourite teammates. Oh, I'm someone who gets around all the girls, so I love them all. But some favourites would have to be Jess Edwards and Sarah Steelpark, who I used to live with. We definitely had a very good connection on and off the field, so I loved playing with them. Jade Visser, who unfortunately didn't get to play this season due to being in rehab, but hopefully she'll be back and better for next year. Probably Jamie Parrish as well. She's another one that I'm pretty close with.
Very nice. This is probably my favourite question I ask everyone, so hopefully you got some good answers here. Who loves the limelight, the attention, the camera at North Adelaide, and they can't get enough of it, and they know what to do when cameras are around or people are around?
Definitely Tegan Cortez. She is the social media queen. She absolutely loves it. Every time I'm filming TikToks and stuff for our North page, she's always front and center. And probably Leppy as well, Christy Harvey. She loves a bit of attention. We love giving it to her. She deserves it every time. So
Very nice. I mean, Personally, I love it. Hence why I've got a channel. But yeah, I love the people that get around it the most because I mean these days you got to try and pump your channels up in whatever way you can, and I think it's the right heading in the right way.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we decided at the start of this last year that we were going to make just a girls north page. So we
Hmm?
have a TikTok page that I run, and we just make silly little videos on that. And people seem to like them, so we keep doing it. But yeah, they're just for a bit of fun.
That's good. How's it go views wise? Is there a particular video that's blown off, or some of your favorite videos you've done?
Yeah, we actually did have a video blow up. It got like 600K views, and we were all a bit shocked about it. We didn't really know what was going on. But now a few of our videos actually got yeah, a bit of, I guess, action. Which yeah, it was a bit surprising to all of us. We're all having a bit of a laugh about it.
Oh, that's very nice. I mean, sometimes they say it could hit the algorithm in the right time, and coming from my experience, I mean, posting these things at the right opportune time, I think, is a key to like even if you got the video done and you've made it and it's like 12 o'clock at night, it's probably like, well, we'll just wait for the prime time. Don't put it at early morning like 7 a.m. Do it at prime time. So like when that game and there's no sport on either. That's kind of I don't know how you did it, how you run it, but that's kind of what I do. I kind of wait for the right opportune time.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely feel like there's definitely peak times that you need to post. I
Mm,
think a lot of the ones that we have posted have just been we've made the video up it goes kind of thing because we never really were looking for those views or that kind of like publicity, I guess. But
mm.
yeah, no, definitely posting at the prime times when people are going to be on their phones. Like it's the way to get your name and your channels out there.
Absolutely. And I mean, I agree with you. I'm the same. Even though I just said what I said, I'm sometimes like the same. It's like, no, I'm just posting it now. I don't care. Because, it's just like, no, I just want it up now. I want people to see. I'm not making them wait 24 hours or whatever. It's just like, get it up. Is there a particular video that now you mentioned about one blowing up? Is there a favorite video of yours of those?
Ooh, favorite video. My favorite video is probably the one where we're all dressed up as the elderly, and I go around asking each person who they think best dressed is, and it ends up being Amber Ward, and she's got a walker with like a fake catheter bag on it. Like it was amazing. She looked so good. But yeah, that's really my favorite video.
Very nice. Okay. Who are some teammates you feel able to kind of fly under the radar a little bit and don't get talked about as much as you feel they should?
Yeah. Oh, gotta think about this one. I think.
Mm.
Definitely Jamila Totham.
Mhm.
She only kind of made her mark in our league team this year. She was a bit kind of more resi side the year before, but has really made her stamp in our team and is growing into a great little player.
Mhm.
Um, Someone like Bailey Murray, who's a little 16 or 17-year-old coming through. She obviously isn't in that prime age to really be talked about yet, but I know that as she starts playing a bit more, that she's definitely one to look out for.
That's good. Now, who would you say is the best chatterbox at the club, April?
Oh, that'd be me.
Fair enough.
I yap till no end. I don't stop talking. I just chat and chat to anyone and everyone. So yeah, definitely me.
Yeah, and that's also me as well. So it fits perfectly here having this on at the same time. Then, all right, loudest and quietest teammates.
Oh, quietest would have to be DK. She is the quietest little thing you'll ever meet. Does not talk much. Loudest would definitely have to be Lep. So Christy Harvey, she's our fullback for a reason. She's directing, she's commanding. You gotta love it.
Yeah, very good. And if you were stuck on a deserted island, April, with teammates, who are you bringing and not bringing, and why?
Oh, I'm gonna say I'm bringing Sarah Steele Park.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm definitely not bringing a Marley Innes.
Steph. Any particular reason?
Oh, love to go in bits, but I just don't think she'd be very helpful on a desert island.
That's fair. It's true though. Well, I don't know that, but I'm talking about like they need to be smart. You need someone smart. You want to get off there. You don't want to be stranded there.
Yeah.
And then also on top of that, photo day, April. Who's the one or group of people that have got to look $1,000,000, even if they look $1,000,000 on photo day, or they just want to, just keep overdoing it in a way?
Oh, I wouldn't say anyone overdoes it, but we do love a bit of fake tan in the Roosters team. So definitely Brie Arthur and probably Jade Visser are the worst tan addicts. They're always game day ready, photo ready. So yeah, definitely those two would have to be up there, I reckon.
That's good. Now yourself, April, game day superstitions. Do you have any game day superstitions that you must follow?
My one thing is I have a red little ribbon,
Hmm.
and stitched into the side of that is a little AC, and my sister stitched that into the ribbon for me, and
Hmm.
she also wore one when we played our like season together. And so ever since then, I've always wore that every game day. I won't play without it. But yeah, it's kind of like she's running out there with me and I feel a bit more confident with it in. So yeah, that's probably the only thing. Everything else I'm like, oh, I don't really mind.
That's good. How do you feel with someone that has so many? Because I feel like if you have so many, what happens if you can't do one? For example, an easy one that comes to mind is like the coffee. Like if someone has to get it from a certain store, and what happens if the machine's broken or they're closed? Like, how could they live without their superstitions? Like, I'd feel like they'd be screwed, or they might be angry.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know how someone like has heaps, because I'm
Mm,
always worried that like if I do like too many things that I'm gonna be too like worried about that, not worried about my football.
mhm.
So
Yeah,
yeah, I don't feel like we've got anyone in the team that's pretty crazy about what they need to do before a game. But yeah, I can see some people definitely are, and they would struggle if something went a little bit sideways.
absolutely. What nicknames do you get at the club, April, that you like or dislike?
Pretty much just Crooksy the whole time. I do get Prilly a little bit because people thought that was how you say my name is Aprille. So I got Prilly for a little bit, but that's more of just a joke than anything. But yeah, I'm pretty much Crooksy all the time. I don't get April ever.
Fair enough. All right, Crooksy. I'll call you Crooksy. We'll see how many times I call you that before I call you April, but we'll see. All right. So, here's some fun facts about you, Crooksy, that people may not know about you.
Fun fact, I was a dancer for 10 years.
Okay.
It's like not everyone knows that.
Uh,
Um, I am Indigenous, which again, I feel like not many people know that.
mhm.
Um, Oh, what else? Fun fact. Fun fact. Oh, I don't know. I can do the worm.
Oh, nice. That's
Yep.
good. Now, I know what your answer will be, but I'm going to try this anyway. The last time and the only time someone's ever performed a musical song, um, a dance, something. The last person that we talk about viral moments, April. Have you done a video where you do any of that in any of those TikToks?
Oh, I actually don't have a TikTok of me doing the worm, but there's definitely videos that people would have because I whip it out any chance I get.
Okay. Do you want to do anything now?
Oh, I don't think I can do the worm now.
That's all right. Viral moment for another time because the last person that did a musical instrument, they played the saxophone, I think it was. Anyway, I don't know. It blew up themselves. It got so, or at least for a little bit. I think it was maybe 8,000 views or something within a couple of days. It's for a smaller channel, I thought that was pretty decent,
Yeah,
and all
that's good.
for a 30-second playing a saxophone. So
Yeah.
not bad. But then again, put up 600,000 views for that other video, so that's nothing compared to that.
Yeah, I
But then
still
again,
don't know how that happened.
that's bloody impressive. All right, so defenders, April. I feel like you played every position basically, so you would kind of understand this. I feel like they deserve a bit more love than what they truly get. Obviously, the forwards have got the Coleman, the mids have got the Brownlow, and Rucks even get recognised in Brownlow votes these days. Do defenders, April, Crooksy, see, I told you I'd do it, deserve their own official award of a title as well, like those other positions have?
Yeah, for sure. I definitely think there should be something. I definitely think they fly under the radar. They only ever get talked about when a goal's kicked on them, but not for the 20 intercept marks they took before that or the takedown tackle to save the goal. Like they're definitely not appreciated as much as they should be.
Absolutely, no, I agree there, spot on. Now, most prized possessions that you own.
Ooh. Um, my stuffed teddy that I've had since I was 4. If there was a
No, very
fire in
good.
the house, I'd be taking him with me.
That's good.
Um, And my prized possession. Whew, I don't
Any
even.
medals?
Oh,
BBS?
nah, not really. All my medals and stuff and like any of that kind of stuff is tucked away back in Tassie. So I probably
Fair enough.
probably don't need to worry about that. But probably my dunks.
Okay, nice. Now, at least the Teddy made the trip.
Yeah, the Teddy made the trip. He's been with me since I was 4 years old, so he's coming everywhere.
Very nice. So hopefully he didn't pay for the flights for him. Hopefully he got to sneak on in the carryover bag.
Yeah, just chuck him in the bag.
That's very good. All right. Mark or goal of the year, April? Crooksy, what would you rather do and why? Mark or goal of the year? I'll continue.
Um, I'm not the best. I'm not the best marker, to be honest. That's probably something that I personally really want to work on. So I'm gonna have to
Yep.
say goal of the year. But
Mhm.
yeah,
That's fair enough. It can be as unrealistic as you want it. Okay. All right. I'll rephrase the question. If it was unrealistic, would you still choose goal? If you would prefer to do either or?
no, I'd probably pick mark. If I was
Okay.
like a good marker, I'd rather take like a really sick hanger than kick the goal.
That'd be good. Would you be one, Crooksy, to post it if you were to nail a Mark of the Year contender or win it?
Probably not. I probably
Oh,
wouldn't post it personally. Like if someone else posted, I would share it,
yeah.
but I probably wouldn't post it because I don't really post many footy photos of myself.
Okay. Interesting. I I get that answer a lot. If someone else shares it, then I might share it or whatever. But you generally don't want to be the first one. I've had mixed answers for that. Some will say flat no. Some will say they'll do it themselves. Some will say the moment the clip's posted, they'll screen record it or save it or whatever and post it themselves. I get mixed answers. I love it. But it's all a bit of fun. And I mean, unless your name's Jeremy Howe, you don't do Mark of the Year every year or a nomination. Or if your name's not Eddie Betts, you don't do Goal of the Year every or nomination every year. So I mean,
Yeah.
it doesn't always happen, but they're
Yeah.
good fun. Now, what's the best goal you've ever kicked at any level, at any point in time?
I'd have to say it was actually this year
Mm-hmm.
when Amber Ward, we're at Prospect Oval, Amber Ward handballs me the ball back inside, and I kick the goal on the run, and it really looks like it's heading for the point, but then somehow curves real late and goes through, and that was just such a cool moment. Did my little goal celebration and jumped on Amber. I was pretty excited.
I'm glad you mentioned goal celebrations, Crooksy, because a lot of people, or at least recently that I've spoken to on here, they don't really have one. They kind of just do like a generic something generic, or they say, "Oh no, I just run back to my position," or "Nah, the team just jumps on me and I don't really have anything." I'm glad you said you got one. So what is it?
So my goal celebrations, it's a little bit funny. I came up with it at the start of the year, and everyone kind of said that I wouldn't do it if I ever kicked a goal. So I do it
Improve
now,
the.
but hit the old little rooster.
No, very smart because you're playing for them. That's smart. Very
Yeah,
good.
so run around, rooster up, tongue out.
That's it. Go all out. Go all out. That's the way.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I mean, I love goal celebrations. Now, there was one recently, and this person, she'll like me saying this because I just saw her again recently and she loved that I bring this up, that she did a celebration in one of my goal kick challenges I did with her here in Vic. And this was I didn't know she was going to pull this out. She just randomly did it. She wasn't even winning, which makes it funnier. She kicked the generic goal. It was I think it was on the flank. Anyway, she kicked it and she just did an aeroplane. So she ran around with her hands wide open, going around in a circle about 4 times. I did not expect that coming, but it seems to have stuck now for a lot of people bringing it up. What are your thoughts on that?
Um, Yeah, look, probably not my cup of tea. If you've just kicked like the winning goal, like you've just put your team in front, absolutely. Hit a few donuts as an airplane, all for it. But just for a normal goal, probably not
Mm. Yeah,
overly necessary.
yeah, I know. I found it. Oh, it was only a golden challenge, so it wasn't even in a real game. But hey, it makes the video look good because see, it still gets talked about now. If she didn't do it, it doesn't happen.
Absolutely.
And I always, I'm pulling my secrets out here, but I think it's public knowledge now anyway. If anyone watches them, is I always every time I miss one, Crooksy, is I have a hat on 99% of the time, and every time I miss one, I just if it's unless it's hard, I'll just throw the hat in frustration. And good acting, I say, because a lot of people think I'm actually angry when it's 99% of the time I'm not. It's just for the video.
Exactly. You just got to get a little bit of clickbait going on.
Absolutely, that's what it's all about, isn't it? That's what you said with the TikTok videos. You got to do something. If it's generic and basic, it might hit off, but it might not. If you do something different, it doesn't guarantee it, but it more than likely would.
Yeah, keep their attention.
Absolutely, that's what you want to do. Any outside of footy interest, Crooksy, that you have?
Um, I really enjoy like event planning and like decorating, making
Mhm.
like everything pretty organizing kind of stuff. So definitely big on that and a little bit on the arts and crafts side as well.
Very nice. Any particular art drawings or paintings that you've done?
Nah, more like, oh, I don't know how to describe it. More like bedazzling things and like creating things like that, or
Gotcha.
Lego. Like Lego is the best.
Very nice. All good. All right. So, what is the favorite app on your phone, Cooksy? What is the one app that is an instant click on?
Oh, it's definitely got to be TikTok. I'm on that like all the time, just swiping.
I've never got around to it. I understand why people like it. I'm only 26, but I don't understand. I made an account once, and that's as far as it's gone because
Yeah.
I can't. I don't know. People keep telling me still, not all the time, but sometimes. What would be the appeal? What benefits do you feel in my position in like doing channels and that? What benefits do you feel you can get out of it?
I think because you can make like such short little videos, like you can really get people's attention quickly. I like it, I guess, to see like what people get up to in a day, like what a regular day looks like for people. I just think is like so much fun to watch and like getting ready with people to go to like certain events and stuff like that. But I just make little videos and my boyfriend gets so annoyed at it now because I sit my phone down at like every chance I get with just a sound playing and he just stands there like, oh, this again.
Yep, he's doing it again. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've started doing. I don't know if you've seen any of it, but I've done some on Instagram. I've done not so much for that, but I put a lot of like little clips, things. I actually did a. People can take them laugh. We're talking about blowing up. I did a music video. It's not really me singing. I'm not that silly to put my own face because I can't sing. Number one, and number two, I wouldn't want my face on it because I know it's going to be screen recorded. So anyway, I did a music video where I put clips that made sense to what fitted the words and everything. And I did that. Anyway, it's just under 10K views, and for a channel that's only got about 3K or something, not that bad, I thought. And it's been
Yeah.
saved. Would you believe it? It's been saved just under 1,000 times. Saved, downloaded, shared.
Hey,
Yeah,
you get views how you get views. You can't argue with it.
that's right. Now that's why I might be doing another one sometime soon. But anyway, but we'll see. All right. So, all right. How do you handle setbacks and pressure in your footy career, April, if you have had any?
Yeah. Oh, I guess I like to think of myself as someone pretty positive. I am pretty big on like I guess doing everything right to get myself in the position to get back out there, whether it's an injury or
Mm.
anything like that. I'm also very big on like you need to take care of yourself before you get out on the field. So whether that is like your physical health or like your mental health.
Mhm.
So I guess when I'm suffering anything like that, I'm pretty big on just getting back to like things that I know are going to make me feel better. So whether that's talking to like my family or my friends or doing something like arts and crafts that is going to make me feel better, like just little things that I know is going to lift my mood and get me out of those like mind states.
I know that's very good. What's the best piece of advice you've gained from either coaches, from mates, or just anyone in general about anything, really?
My dad like gave me a piece of advice that like I had to pick between football and touch football. And when I picked
Hmm.
football, he said, take the ball and just run with it. And I think I've kind of taken that into life and just taken anything and just run with it. So yeah.
Very nice. So obviously you play any other sports before footy or while having footy as well at the time previously?
Yeah, so when I first started football, I was also a netballer. And then I gave up netball to do touch football and football. When I moved here, it was just footy, and then I've just recently taken up touch again.
Ah, very nice. How'd you go with those sports?
Yeah, good. I was average, not an average. I was an okay netballer,
Yeah,
a pretty good touch footy player, but yeah, definitely a better footballer.
that's very good. All right. So, have you ever had any AFL or AFLW player interactions, Crooksy, as a fan? If so, were there any memorable or forgettable moments?
Um, I've never really had an interaction with any AFL players. I've met a few AFLW players. Obviously, I get to play with some of them at North, and also just from like train on positions and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'd have to say meeting Taylor Harris from Melbourne was
Yeah,
a big thing for me. I did a project on her in high school. I'd watched her when she was a Carlton player. So, yeah, that was a pretty big moment, I guess.
very good. And so you mentioned there about playing with someone in North Adelaide. So, how beneficial was it for you to have some of those girls that are that currently on the currently at AFLW that came at the start of the year or that have, been let go from that comp or retired and came down? How beneficial is it for you to have their knowledge be thrown around as well or play with?
Yeah, it's definitely an advantage. It does kind of suck when they only get to play 4 or 5 games at the start of the year because it takes the
Mm.
chunks out of your team. But just the
Yeah.
knowledge that they bring and the experience and skill level that they bring, like you just want to bring yourself up to them. So yeah, it's definitely like a good like thing to have.
That's right, for sure. Now, this is the hot topic food questions, Crooksy, where I don't know why people here in Australia. Now, you've been through a few states, so this could be interesting how you go here. So, for context, there's 6 food questions to see how you go. I've only had 13 people out of over 150 people get all 6 questions correct or how I would answer them. There's only 8 people that have said the illogical wrong answer for this first question because there's only one answer. And the lowest anyone's ever got is a bunch of people on 3. How do you feel you'll go?
Oh God, I'm a bit nervous now. I don't know.
Let's see how you go. All right, so the first one, and the most important one, chicken palmy. Is it a palmy or is it something else?
It's a palmy, it's not a palmer.
Thank you. It's a palmy. You know what, Crooksy, I don't understand for the life of me why anyone says anything else because there's only one answer, and their argument is, oh, it just is. Well, I'll say there's 2 reasons why it's palmy. Spell it, it's an I, and pronounce it palmy jana. That's all it is. It's a non-negotiable.
Absolutely, I agree.
Very good. 1 for 1. Good start. Right. Pineapple on a pizza, yes or no?
No.
Good answer. Good. I had a few other people in the last few nights, or 3 other people, and they all said yes. So finally, we've had someone say the real answer. Yeah, nope. All right, good. So 2 for 2. Tomato sauce, cupboard or fridge?
Fridge.
So I don't mind either way. So basically everyone gets a point for that. So 3 for 3, unless they say neither. 3 for 3. All right. So favorite food?
Favorite food?
Yep.
Burrito.
Okay, I'm going to stress this enough. I did not give Crooksy these answers. This is the perfect start so far. Burritos are the best. You might get a bonus point here. What is your go-to burrito order, or what do you have on it?
So Zambies,
Giant.
100%.
Yep.
And then I've got beans, white rice, chicken, sour cream, cheese, corn, chipotle.
You know what? I'm giving you a bonus point. Besides maybe the other sauce, not the chipotle one, the other sauce you mentioned, sour cream, I think you said. So that's the one. But good enough. So I'll take that. All right, good. So you're 5 out of 4, if that even makes sense. All right, and I was going to ask you the takeaway place. So obviously that'd be what you just said then.
Zambies, absolutely go
Yeah,
to every day of the week.
that's good. And by the way, just for context, now I want to stress enough. I know fully well now in the last 4 months, but about 4 months ago, I had a lot of the WA girls who always mention sombreros and everything like that. And I said to one of them, and it blew up since then. I said, "What did sombreros?" And their jaw just dropped. Like, what the hell are you on? What? How do you not know what that is? I'm now fully aware of what it is, but I've never been there, and I want to find. And I can't find one here in Vic either. I know there is one. I'm going to find one.
Yeah, no, I had Zambies for the first time in Tassie, and it is my go-to food. It's mine and my best friend's like Sunday like hangover food when we used to go out partying. So yeah, definitely a big winner.
Very good. And the last one, because you're 6 out of 5, if that makes sense. Food you don't like?
Food I don't like. Don't like I don't like seafood.
Yes. Good. Good. Perfect. So you got 7 out of 6. Again, if that makes sense, you got 7 out of 6. Now I believe someone has got 7, but if not, you're equal first now. So that's a good job. Great answer. See, you're not nervous at all, Crooksy. You just kicked it right off the park. Put everyone else. Over 150 people being put to shame. Just that's all it took to give simple answers. All right. So, all right. So, see, I've had a blank. Oh, that's right. If your teammates were to describe you in a word or a sentence, Crooksy, how would they describe you?
She's crazy.
Crazy. Any reason?
Pre-game, music's going. I'm the only one standing in the middle of the change room dancing. Sometimes Lauren Gouchy joins me, but I'm always the one dancing, being an idiot, making everyone laugh. So yeah.
I mean, I should have known the dancing side of things because you just mentioned it before with the stuff, the worm and everything like that. Now, since you mentioned music, favorite music?
Oh, I don't really have a favorite music. I don't listen to music that often.
Yeah,
Only really in the change room, but definitely something I can sing along to. I don't like all the doofy kind of stuff.
fair enough. Now, are you a Taylor Swift person? I haven't asked this for a while. Are you a Taylor Swift person?
I'm gonna have to say yes because I went to see her,
Okay,
but
yep.
naturally no.
Fair enough. Okay, I'm partially like you, except for not going when they were at the MCG, or when she was at the MCG. The reason I asked this is because this is a funny story. I'll insert a fake name. So John, his name is for this argument. So one day, Crooksy, he was annoying me, and I just told him to just shake it off. Now, obviously, we know what that refers to, right? But I didn't intentionally say it because of Taylor Swift. They were the words that came out of my mouth, and he went off his chop, going, "Shut that up! Why would you talk about that stupid? You know what? I hate her." I'm like, oh, he got so worked up. I'm like, calm down. I didn't do it on purpose. But then, you click. I'm like, okay, he pisses me off a lot. He really hates that. He's annoying me right now. I should keep going. So I told him to shake it off, and I said, "Gee, John, all you got to do is hate, 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 hate." Man, again, part of that song, and he went off his chop. And normally, when I talk to someone like him, it's on this platform. I've got the power, and of course, what song do I have lined up if ever wants to piss me off? That song, "Shake It Off." So it's just if you ever know anyone, Crooksy, that hates Taylor Swift, you can just do something like that or play the song or something like that. If they're annoying you, say, "Don't annoy. I'm going to do what you don't want if you don't be quiet."
Yeah, have
That's
something hanging over their head.
exactly. That's exactly what we got to do. Now, I've got a few more for you, so I do really appreciate you coming on. Quirks. What are some quirks some people would say that you would have that you won't necessarily like admitting?
Oh, some quirks.
Mm.
I'd have to say I'm just kind of a weirdo. I don't know how to describe it. My boyfriend tells me all the time, he's like, "You're just kind of weird." I just do like weird things out of nowhere. Like I'll just be like sitting on the couch or something, then all of a sudden I'm like doing a headstand on the
Oh,
couch. Like just weird little bursts of energy where I'm just, yeah, a bit off the rails for just a good 10 minutes.
fair enough. I think I'm trying to think of a nicer word for anyone to describe it outside of that. Maybe interesting might be a nicer word.
Yeah, I like to tell him that I'm just a lot of fun.
Yeah, not boring, not dull and boring. We don't want dull and
Exactly.
boring people. Yeah,
That's what I say to him all the
not
time.
dull.
He's like, "You're annoying me." I'm like, "Would you rather be bored?"
Very smart. So you focus. You know where your comeback is. So that's good. All right. So now, if you were the SANFLW Crooksy CEO for a day, what rule would you change, add, and/or remove? You're in charge. You can pick whatever you want to be as unrealistic as you like. You're in charge.
If I was to remove one, it's anti-density. That
Mm-hmm.
will drive, I
Hear
think,
that a lot.
everybody nuts.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah.
and I think the rule I would add in is if it hits the goalpost but stays in the field, it's play on.
Hmm? Ah,
And if it
yes, I
hits the
like that.
like yeah, if it hits like the point post on the outside and it hits them, then yeah, like that's to kind of take it out. But if it hits like the goal post and it stays in, play on. And if it goes through the goals but like nicks the pole, it's still a goal.
Yes, gotcha. Yeah, I don't mind that. How do you feel, since you didn't mention it there, but you might still think that, with the quarter length? I noticed in the Waffle W as well, they have the time doesn't stop, and it really exploits cheating when the scores are close. The ball goes through the goals, and you're in front by 5 points, and there's a minute to go, and the clock still goes. You're not going to chase the ball, are you? And you're going to delay things, or you're going to have a cramp, or you're going to be injured. I don't like that. Do you feel like that's something all leagues everywhere should really eliminate, where the clock keeps going and the time doesn't stop?
Um, yeah, I guess so. Like, I feel like obviously we need the clock. Well, personally, I need the clock for rotations because I got to know when to
Oh
come
no,
off and
by that
stuff
I
like
mean like
that.
the clock stops. So like there's a minute left, you kick a goal, it goes through the goals, the clock stops.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be a
Yeah,
good one.
I think so. Yeah, because I guess we play time on anyway. So even though it doesn't
Oh
stop,
right.
like it still keeps going. So yeah, you never really know when the siren's gonna go because the clock counts up and it's time on. So you've just got to keep playing it out. It could end anywhere between 19 minutes and 25 minutes for all you know.
True then. Now that's good. I'm glad that's what they got there, because I know some other leagues don't have that, and it's just a flat 20. And I think they do it in VFLW, they do it in Waffle, and I don't think it's a terrible thing. In the women's side of things, they do that. So hopefully they get rid of that. All right. So jumper number, Crooksy, do you have a jumper number that you have? That is there any significance behind the jumper number that you wear?
Yeah, so I wear number 10.
Yeah.
When I first moved to the club, they kind of gave me a list of numbers and they said, have a pick.
Mhm.
And number 10 popped up, and I knew instantly that that's the number I was going to wear. That's the number my dad used to wear when he played. So it
Yep.
was pretty special to be able to pull that jumper on for him. But yeah.
Yeah. Very nice. Now, name 3 famous people, Crooksy, dead or alive, you would invite to go out to dinner with.
Oh, Adam Sandler, The Rock,
Yeah.
Jennifer Aniston.
Good answers. And finally, someone that says name all 3 names that I actually know who the hell they are. The Rock. Well, that's fine. The Rock, Adam Sandler, the movie star. Oh, they're both movie stars, and then obviously Jennifer Epstein, as you mentioned as well. Some options there. So what do you see yourself, Cooksey, accomplishing in the next 5 years or so?
Um, I would love to. Obviously, the dream is to play AFLW.
Mm.
So I will keep striving for that. But if that isn't the path that I guess am led on, then one day captaining North Adelaide, I think, is a huge goal of mine.
Yeah.
Also, just growing that club as a whole, to really make it a club fit for women's football and where women's football is heading.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, I guess just really putting my mark at that club, I think, is something that I really want to strive for.
That's good. That's well said too. So you mentioned leadership. So I'm actually going to ask you about leaderships. Is that something, Crooksy, that you've ever been a part of, or something that you want to clearly get into?
Yeah, I've captained a fair few of my sporting sides through all my different sports,
Yep.
which I've been like super fortunate to do, and I have loved every opportunity that that has brought for me. Um, this year I wasn't lucky enough to be a part of the leadership group, but only being my second year at North, I wasn't really fussed. And to me, everyone can be a leader, so I still led with like
Yes.
my front foot forward. So yeah, it's definitely something that I want to one day be a part of, but
Mm.
I also love looking up to my leaders.
Absolutely. You're spot on. I mean, you do not need the title of a leader to be a leader. Just because you're named captain or vice captain or in that group, however big the group is, doesn't mean you have any more of a say than someone outside it. Now, technically they do with the name title, but doesn't mean, for example, you said you're not in it now, doesn't mean anything you say to a captain or vice versa isn't as important as to what they're saying.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, even with the role of vice or captain or even in the leadership group, the younger girls are still looking at how we react to that as the older girls. So, yeah, just leading with your front foot forward and with a good attitude, I think is super important, and still guiding those girls in what they need to be doing.
That's right. So 2 more for sort of pressure coming on. If you were to use an AFL or AFLW player comparison, Crooksy, to the type of style of player that you play like, who would you say that is?
Oh gosh. Definitely nowhere near as good or as crafty as he is, but Sam Walsh is someone that I think I relate to a lot. Just quick breaks from contest, also does a bit of work forward. Definitely someone that I would like to style my gameplay around.
Yeah, so you would say, like you say, your running power and everything like that would be some of your strengths as well.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like everyone would probably say that my speed and being able to like get around people is probably like my strength.
Well, this might be a controversial question from a teammate. Now, I know I mentioned the teammate questions earlier, but I've got a really good one here I've just randomly thought of. If you could pick, Crooksy, one player who you currently play with in North Adelaide in the league side, who has the traits to be an AFLW player the most?
Layla Ebert.
Nice
That
and
girl
quick
has
decision.
done, yeah, that girl has done everything right and came back from ACL last year and has just worked and worked and worked, and she's such a skillful and knowledgeable player for just an 18-year-old. So yeah, she will definitely be on the screens one day.
Hopefully that's the case. And the last one. So what does North Adelaide Crooksy mean to you?
Yeah, they're pretty much my family here. I moved over here with no family whatsoever. As a 19-year-old, I was pretty scared, pretty nervous to be a part of a new club that had just won a premiership together as well. So yeah, they're my family. I met my boyfriend through them, so I'm super grateful for that as well. But yeah, I live and breathe the red and white, and I know that they want the best for not only the women's program but for football in general. So yeah.
Crooksy, it's been a pleasure having you on. All the best for the rest of the future seasons, and hopefully next year the team, and yourself go up to another level, and hopefully one day we see you on the other screen from the AFLW side. If not, to continue a successful career, what you're doing. Appreciate you coming on.
Thank you so much for having me.
Always, anytime.